Alright, welcome back to Pokemon Moon. We're going to do a little bit more plot stuff because the game demands it, but we finally got our Strength Ride Pokemon.
I'm sorry.
The champ that carries us and pushes
Oh, my champ!
The ruins
Take me
of
away!
hope. That's dark. That's okay.
Oh, well, dude, there's
Yeah,
the
I
ruins
think what
of
they meant is
life on a
ruined
different
hope.
one. So, that's not any
I'm sorry.
darker.
Just like, when you call something the
I don't
ruins
understand.
of, and I don't think the Japanese understand this, but you make it sound like something was ruined. And you're looking at the remains. Like, if it was the Temple of Hope or the Temple of Life, that would be very positive, but...
Oh, look, it's the Temple of Time.
Your opponent wears off.
The one, you weren't even in the grass anymore, technically.
Yeah, the one pixel of still being in the grass, and then you get a random battle.
Isn't that always the way?
Beware the random battles.
Once again, they're trying to off to save the world, I see.
I'm like the only Pokemon player I know who never bothers with repels.
No, it depends.
I usually don't, but for the sake of recording, I obviously use them.
Every single Gen 1 playthrough, I am stocking up on that shit whenever I get to Victory
Well,
Road.
obviously it depends on generation, because some are just worse than others.
Victory Road and Cerulean Cave, because I cannot be fucking
Yeah,
bothered.
And any significantly long water route.
Oh, and Seafoam Islands.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never use repels except for here and here and here and here and here and here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't use repels. I use super repels.
Yeah, no, you don't use max repels. You're getting ripped off.
Yeah, no, super repels are the best steps per price you're getting.
Yeah.
Hey, Lillie, just saying, you'd be able to free your hands if you bought a backpack with tighter straps.
You see, what I really like it when you pick the dick answers to Lillie after she changes clothes, because she gets really, really annoyed at you. She's like, dude, come on.
I've carried 2,000 pounds my entire life. I will fucking end you.
Oh.
Oh shit, we're getting Symphonia up in this bitch.
You said you wanted to be like me. I'm a video game protagonist, so allow me to introduce you to
I
the
like how
block
she actually tries to push the block.
Yeah, but you can't show that because, man, one simple pushing animation's too hard. Oh, no.
Although I guess she
like-
is right to think she could, because she hand lift 2,000 pounds with no problem.
Little do we know that these blocks are 2,001 pounds, and, that's just a little too much.
Just a little beyond her threshold of pain.
So, yeah, if you've been you see, I'm not actually a fan of how they changed the strength puzzles in Gen 5, where instead of, like, actually having puzzles about where you need to put the blocks, it's all about, like, oh, you gotta just put them into these holes. And, back in my day, we had ice-pushing strength blocks, and we liked it. Yeah.
You had to push
No,
the
I
rocks
hated
on
it.
switches.
Push rocks on switches down holes so that you can slide on them and stop yourself. That was like the only...
And that's why I use repels.
That's the only puzzle that Pokemon had that ever made you think a little bit, which is why it was in every game, now that I'm thinking about it. But, yeah. One thing that I like is that Lillie says if you think you're stuck, just go outside to clear your head, a.k.a. everything will reset magically, because it's a video game.
Yep.
So this is also a weird plot point in that, like, Hapu becomes the Kahuna right here and gets, like, the deity's blessing or whatever. But apparently before this, like, they didn't have a Kahuna here for whatever reason. Also,
Apparently for years, because I guess Hapu was traveling around trying to figure out how to be the Katuna after her granddad died.
yeah, basically. So I guess nobody was able to do the challenge then. Alright, Hapu. Whatever.
I'm assuming that they just let everyone skip this island.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, this is a weird thing in that it feels like it should matter more than it actually does. Ultimately,
It feels a tad superfluous. Like, I don't think you necessarily needed this here. You could have just had the strength puzzle, Lillie brings Cosmo, nothing happened. Okay, let's go back to Hapu.
yeah, I think it's kind of also one of those things where the Ultra Beasts and Aether Foundation stuff is just much more interesting than the lore about the Kahunas and the Tapu, which we already kind of know by this point, as well.
Yeah, like, you could have easily just had Hapu say, oh, you're looking for the Kahuna? She's right here.
Yeah, basically.
And that would have worked just as well, really.
Like, I think they were doing... I think what they were going for is that, like, she's kind of discovering her way to become a Kahuna as you're doing your challenge, like, along with you. And I think that's what they were going for, because you do see her a decent amount throughout the plot. I just think they don't really, in each of the times where you see her, they don't really do a lot with her. She's just kind of there, you know? Like, you don't really learn much about her. She's just kind of wandering around because she feels like it.
Mm-hmm.
There
Yeah,
you
my mom
go.
sucked, but I still want her back anyway.
I know that she was a terrible person, but she was still my mother. There you go.
Yeah. You see, it's like nuance and crap. Like, you don't expect that from Pokemon, of all things. Where, like, the most famous lines are like, super nerd wants to fight, or I like shorts.
I like shorts. They're comfy and easy to wear.
I'm sorry, I'm just really, really bitter about all the Severus Snape shipping.
Snape. Severus Snape.
I think my favorite Pokemon line was Raichu evolved.
Well, no, that could still be an actual line. You just nickname your Pokemon Raichu before it gets to its full stage.
Raichu evolved into Raichu. What?
Raichu evolved into Blastoise.
Raichu is everlasting.
Charizard evolved into Charmeleon. What?
Bam, bam, bam. Ba, 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 ba.
There's a record scratch at the end of that.
I bet you're wondering how I got into this situation.
No, Ryan, don't. It's faster. No, Ryan.
Go, Charmeleon!
It was faster to walk back. No.
I actually
What?
want... No,
Oh, wait,
actually,
no, you have to go.
here
Oh, yeah, I forgot. Okay, they changed.
You have to come here for the Temple of the Sun.
Yeah, you have to.
Sorry, Executor Island.
Yeah, you see, they changed stuff in Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, so I got confused. Lillie, I think Hapu considers you more than a friend. The game, like, ships you too hard, basically. Like, I know you're both, like, 8.
Lillie gets shipped with everyone.
Except Hal, basically.
Yeah.
Including Nebby and Nebby's bag.
How's too busy getting shit with Malasadas?
Well, you know, you say that, but Lily is clearly broken up with the bag.
Yeah, no, Lillie, Nebby's bag, and Nebby are the OT3. Alright? Okay?
No T3.
So the OT3 is having trouble in paradise,
Uh,
which is why there's a new bag.
Basically, yeah. Nebby's got a brand new bag. Okay, you know, it's really weird hearing the daytime version of this, because since I play Moon, I almost always am hearing the nighttime version of this.
Well,
thing.
I recorded this at night, but since it's Pokemon Moon, it's daytime.
Yeah, it's bizarre, actually. Like, I don't hear the daytime versions of most of the themes very often, so when I do, it's, like, really, really weird. Also, another minor change in Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon is that instead of talking to this guy for the whole time, some of his dialogue is also given to,
What's her name?
oh, God.
Mina, I think?
Mina, yes, who's the fairy-type trial leader. Like, there are a lot of parts of Sun and Moon that do feel like, okay, they were planning on adding it to a sequel or third version, and Mina's definitely one of them. It's just a shame that Mina's trial is the worst in the game, though, because she makes you essentially do a Admiral White quest from Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door and go back and fight every single trial captain, which takes like forever.
Well, not every single one, but most of them.
I think like everyone that's not in the Elite Four you have to fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like all of them, but Acerola, I think, is fought, so that's annoying. Okay, way to do the Guzma laugh there, guy. That's creepy. Alright.
I just need to give him the Team Skull walking animation.
Oh yeah, so the biggest change in Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon to this place is that on Executor Island, Lillie doesn't come with you. So...
For some reason.
Yeah, like I think you fight Hapu here instead, is what happens. So it's... A lot of the character development that comes here is gone, and instead it's just a plot item fetch quest. Kind of waste of time sort of area.
And that's the kind of thing I was talking about when I said that they were removing content. So the Alolan Executor is just a taller Executor.
Yeah.
It's a palm tree, yeah. It's also part dragon for some fucking reason.
Now it's part... that's the one I don't get is the part
Now
dragon.
it's a taller palm tree.
Yeah, because we're in the tropics. It's got more sun.
It also has a head on its tail now.
Yeah, well, no, Lewis, the thing is, they're not removing content necessarily, because you still come here and do the same stuff, but they're removing story content.
cutscenes content.
Okay, then I agree with you there. But some people are like, "Oh, well, the gameplay's not different, so it's not actually
Oh,
content."
fuck that logic.
Yeah, but they
The story is part of the game.
yeah, but I really dislike how this area instead when it used to feel like a really cool character development sort of piece where you sort of see how Lily's character has progressed over and how the events have changed her. Like, she's like, oh, like I'm gonna have my Z-powered form and whatever, but you really start to get that fleshed out here, in like the scene where they're hiding under the rain. And in the Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon version, you're just standing there. Like that
by yourself.
Were there any of those complainers for this game, like there were with Black and White, who thought there was too much story?
Oh, of course there
No,
are.
not well. Some, but yeah.
Yeah.
Skirt got a bit. Oh yeah, Lily, you know how it's up.
You mean like, were there enough that GameFreak?
Not really. No.
There are people who
No.
complain that the cutscenes are too long. Is definitely something I've heard pretty commonly. It's just like, oh, the cutscenes are so long.
Wow, really?
Yeah,
Have you
like
ever played
again,
an
like
RPG?
Pokemon's the franchise that it's just like, okay, you haven't played other RPGs, then I'm sure. Yeah,
These cutscenes seem pretty short to me by my metric, but
yeah,
well,
yeah. So
I mean,
it's,
my first RPG was Final Fantasy VIII, so maybe my perspective is a little skewed, but
yeah.
well,
Again, you will get those people, and again, like I understand the idea that Pokemon is like the one RPG series where you can play it without caring about the story and you don't lose all that much. Like some people really just want to like plow through the story as fast as possible so that they can get to breeding and raising up Pokemon for competitive teams and things. And I mean,
well,
then that's
push your
fine.
mouth.
But
whatever gets your rocks off, it just seems kind of like tedium to me.
Yeah. So it's just a matter of, for me, so it's a rainbow if you come during the day. If you come at night, it's shooting stars, which I think is better personally, but whatever.
So the cutscene has a different ambient effect depending on what time of day it is. That's actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They paid more attention to it in this game specifically because, it's specifically called Sun and Moon. So, yeah. But
Wait, that also means in Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, when you come here, you don't get that scene with the two different
yeah,
things
well,
in the back.
okay, so you do technically get it, but instead of it being with Lillie, you get it like in post-game if you come back here, and you get it with the village chief, with some really random, I forget even what causes it, but they still wanted the effect in the game, so it's just really random
So
and stupid.
they just inserted it in a random ass way. Okay.
Yeah, it's
Sure.
bizarre.
Instead of having a moment with Lillie, who's an important plot character who you've been journeying with this whole time, let's have it with a random.
Yeah, with that guy.
Okay,
Basically.
so I have to ask, when they were designing Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, who did they go to make these decisions, and how drunk were they?
I don't know. Probably the guy who thought that Blacephalon was a good name for a Pokemon. So which
Pokemon is that?
It's a Pokemon. It's an Ultra Beast which has an exploding head and looks like a clown, kind of, but it's made out of ball. Have you ever heard of the 2D Fighter Balls on the Super Nintendo? It would be like that game if it had a clown character.
I think I've heard of it.
Yeah, that's what
Is that Balls
Balls
with
with
a
a
Z?
Z. Yes, I think it
Okay.
might be 3D balls actually. I don't really remember though.
Yeah, I think I've heard of that.
Yeah, all the characters are just piles of balls, pretty much. It was probably on a nerd episode. Now that I think about it.
Yeah, I think that's something like that where I've heard of it. It might actually have been Pat the NES Punk. I'm not really sure.
Okay.
Oh,
Squats. Today we squat for no reason. Someday we'll leave for no reason.
okay, dudes, your boss is gone. Your boss's boss is gone. What do you think you're gonna be doing against me?
Well, they're doing the whole we don't know if we can trust you to save Guzma thing, so we're all gonna fight you at once. Kind of to prove that.
Or something.
Yeah.
And by all at once, they mean one at a time, of course.
Well, actually, here's the thing. Thankfully, they make it just a 6 Pokemon. Oh wait, no, that was changed in
That's
Ultra
later.
Sun and Ultra.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh
Okay, so they made one good decision in Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon.
yeah. I'm pretty sure.
No, I don't think you fight all of them in this version.
I'm misremembering something. I'm sorry. For a couple of parts, the 3DS screen was lined up so that part of the left side wasn't chopped off.
Yeah, I didn't want to say anything because I noticed that shit all the time.
Wow, you beat me. Beat my one Pokemon.
My one unevolved Pokemon. That was lower level.
Oh, okay. I'm
Plumeria's
thinking
just
about.
sort of-
Oh, I'm thinking about this part. Okay, you fight all 5 of them, quotation marks, but it's a fight with one person with 5 Pokemon. So, okay.
Oh, they do that so that, like, they do it with just, like, 5 of the same model, so it doesn't look weird when...
Yeah, I
the
think
same
they had
model
that
thing.
in Ultra and Omega Ruby, also for the Sapphire, where you fought, like, 5 grunts at once, and that was a horde battle. But hordes aren't in this thing because, oh god, that would the game just would not be able to run it, so... Yeah.
Yeah, I can't wait for Pokemon Switch, where they can bring that stuff back and not have to worry about performance.
Hopefully, if they can
Hopefully.
actually...
Well, in a Pokemon art style, they aren't going to go super realistic on graphics, and that's going to mean there's a lot of spare resource power to go into the game.
Well, just because they're not going for realism doesn't mean that they're not going to try to, like, have a ridiculous amount of effects or particles
Even
or
on
whatever.
the Switch, Breath of the Wild has some frame rate issues in places, but it's like, they're probably not going to have that specific issue where it's the number of models in battle that's the problem.
Yeah, I hope so, at the very least. You want to know another...
No, I don't think
Yeah, you want to know also one thing that I kind of want for when they do make the HD Pokemon game, and it's a minor thing. I want to just be able to turn the camera during the fight. Like, whenever you start a fight, like...
You mean like rotate it?
Yeah,
some way?
like, maybe start the fight, and it's in this traditional Pokemon view, but, you can, like, move the right stick and just change the camera while they're fighting. It would be a completely pointless addition, but it would make the game feel a little bit more open, in a way.
Yeah, fair enough.
I'm also kind of expecting them to do fights are on the world map kind of thing, where instead of, like, going into the imaginary battle space, that's so...
Well, I mean, they sort of do that here.
Yeah, but, like, they just kind of go to another area that's built to reflect the area you're already in. Like, I kind of expect them to have the fights, like, actually be in the world map itself.
Yeah,
Maybe.
Like Chrono Trigger, only 3D.
Funky thing, Final Fantasy X sort of Jedi mind tricked you into thinking that's what you were doing most of the time. But the fact of the matter was only specific boss fights happened in the same location within the field.
Yeah.
Most of the random battles happened in a stock generic battle arena.
Yeah, and I mean, again, that's a super minor thing. I just think, like, that's the kind of change that I expect them to make in order for the game to feel more modern, even if it doesn't change any...
So you want battles to be in real
like,
time?
no, not like real time in terms of, like, combat, but, like, I expect them to make changes, cosmetic changes like that, to make it feel more modern without actually changing the standard turn-based gameplay.
Basically, going into the battle system without going into a separate battle arena.
No transition.
Yeah, like, for example, in Chrono Trigger, if the battles in that game were in a completely different, like, battle space, like in Final Fantasy or Dragon Quest, the game wouldn't play any differently. But the fact that they take place in the world map makes that game be like, ooh, look, fancy. I expect a similar thing to happen with Pokemon, where it's just like, okay, we're going to pretend that this is a big new thing, and it'll look like a big new thing, but it's not changing the gameplay that much. And that's fine. I don't think that this should change the battle system too much in a Gen 8, but the little things are gonna add up when they do make that jump. So I hope they're good, basically, is just what I'm saying. Because, again, I think Ryan said this before, but change isn't... just because you change something doesn't mean it's a good change. So, yeah. Now, Ryan, remind me, do you actually fight Plumeria here or not?
I honestly can't remember.
You
I
definitely...
know you do in Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon.
No, you
but-
don't in Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon.
Oh, you don't?
Yeah. Where it feels like this is a place where you should fight her, and then you don't.
Oh, okay, I don't think you do then.
Okay. Alright.
Because I would have put it at the end of the part if we did.
Okay. Yeah, that fight won't take, like, a minute, so, alright.
Yeah.
Again, the weird thing is that they try to do more with Plumeria here than most of the other rival admins. Not rival, enemy admins, Like, most of the games past Gen 3 because Gen 3 really only had Archie and Maxie, but Gen 4 onwards, they always tried to have at least a couple of, like, characters as part of the evil team that were sort of like bigger bosses, but not the biggest boss. And this is the only one where they try to do something with them, other than just having them be a face to your mini-boss. And, I don't know, I still feel like they could have done a whole lot more.
Yeah.
I don't know what...
Mind you, that's a really minor thing, because she's just ultimately not important at all.
Yeah, but I don't know what they could have done to make her more important, I guess. Aside from, like, a really generic subplot about her, like, leaving Team Skull, because it's evil, or whatever.
I think it's interesting in the sense that we're presented Team Skull. They're like a real big joke for most of the game, but then their connection to the Aether Foundation winds up revealing a pretty complicated side to them.
Yeah.
That's
Well, only through Guzma.
Guzma
Not
and
necessarily.
Plumeria,
Yeah.
who winds up showing herself to be more understanding of Guzma and the situation than you would necessarily have expected.
I mean, she hangs around with these idiots, so,
Yeah, what I'm saying is, like, and this is not the only story that does this, but sometimes you're presented a character who seems like a complete and utter douchebag, but then events transpire which give them a chance to show a more rounded side to their personality, and it winds up having the effect that, okay, it wasn't that they were complete douchebags, we just didn't have we didn't have a chance to see it, but then again, we didn't think about it, we didn't look. So